Chicago traffic rerouted. Right now, thousands of teachers rallying, showing their solidarity on day one of the Chicago teacher strike.
Designated schools, churches, and libraries, just some of the places parents can leave their school-age children for part of the day during this strike.
Good evening. We have a series of reports for you tonight on the teacher strike, the rally, and the negotiations.
First, we begin tonight with ABC 7's Jason Knowles. He's live in the loop with the latest on the teachers' rally this afternoon and this evening. Jason.
Right now, there are some rolling closures in the loop. Some buses have been rerouted. Now, this area of Clark Street was virtually shut down earlier. Thousands of teachers were here on Clark Street, right in front of CPS headquarters. I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. There are still a few teachers hanging around, but for the most part, the crowds have started to disperse in this specific area here at 125 South Park. But if you do see, they have left behind some of the on-strike signs. Now, let's take a look from above right now, a chopper shot. You can see a crowd at Daly Plaza and City Hall. Now, it's not like those massive crowds that we saw before about an hour ago. And here's why. Those teachers are striking. Hundreds of teachers shut down Clark Street in front of CPS headquarters this afternoon. About 26,000 teachers and support staff say they're standing strong during the strike. Even students could be seen showing their support at the massive rally.
We really care about our teachers. They deserve a fair contract.
Both sides are almost in agreement as far as compensation is concerned, but teachers are also fighting an evaluation system based partly on student standardized test scores. Union officials say it's an unfair system, but the mayor says teachers need to be held accountable.
What are they going to base my evaluation on? How many children I dismissed from speech? It's great to dismiss them, but that's not how you measure progress. So it needs to be more fair, and they need teacher input.
The CTU also wants the district to give laid-off teachers first dibs on other jobs which open up in the district. The mayor says he wants principals to have the freedom to hire the best candidate. Another complaint from teachers, classroom size.
We got 35 kids in one classroom, and it's overcrowded with no air conditioning. It's about 100 degrees in the room with no air conditioning. The kids can't concentrate that way.
And here is a live look right now from above at Daly Plaza. You can see a sea of people as negotiations continue behind closed doors. There's plenty of action still downtown. Now, Kathy, although all of the action is gone right here and not clustered in this area anymore, there was a lot of people here. There were thousands of teachers. It was extremely loud. The best idea for you now, if you're at home, is you may want to avoid the loop for the next hour. We're live downtown. Jason Knowles, ABC 7 News. Now back to you.
Still not great down there, but a whole lot better than it was an hour ago. Jason, thank you. Negotiations still underway right now between teachers union and the school board. ABC 7 being held. Paul, any progress right now?
Well, we don't know at this point, Kathy. When the contract talks resume the day a strike begins, it's usually regarded as a positive sign. But again, we don't know if any movement is being made upstairs here. Both sides got together shortly before noon in the offices of Jim Franczyk, longtime labor negotiator for the city of Chicago. They've been at it now for 6 hours, focusing, we believe, on those two key issues that Jason earlier mentioned, teacher recall and teacher evaluation. The teachers argue that the way Chicago wants to implement its evaluation system would hurt teachers by holding them responsible for many of the things they have little control over. Poverty, violence, major urban factors that impact student test scores. And teachers say that it would cut jobs, and furthermore, they would wind up just teaching to the test.
We want feedback on how to become better teachers. But if it's just based on standardized testing, which has been proven to not show growth effectively, then that's where our issue comes in.
They have no experience in working with kids the way we do. Ask us. Ask us what works in the classroom. Ask us what works in the schools. They don't listen to us at all.
Apart from the differences over teacher evaluations and a teacher recall procedure, there are larger issues underlying these talks, personified by CTU President Karen Lewis's description of the mayor as a liar and a bully.
You've got a large number of teachers who are genuinely angry with the mayor, and that's combustible.
In the last year, the evaluation is designed by our teachers, for our teachers, and will be revised by our teachers. It respects their understanding of their profession.
One development apart from the negotiating table today, the Chicago school system had asked the Illinois High School Athletic Association for a special waiver that would have allowed high school teams to continue their practicing and their games as scheduled during this fall season while the strike was underway. Today, that request was denied by the IHSA. So no games, no practices as long as the strike is underway. We stand by here to wait word if any progress is being made at the negotiating table. Live at Jackson and Wacker, Paul Meinke, ABC 7 News. Alan, Kathy, back to you.
All right, Paul, as long as this goes on, of course, parents and their children up in the air all across the city. Parents are scrambling to try to find child care to change their work schedules because of this teacher strike. And many of the parents we spoke with today appear to sympathize with teachers, but nonetheless, it's forcing them to juggle. The city's Children First sites are up and running. That's where parents can drop off their children at least until 12:30 in the afternoon.
I'm trying to get to work. I don't have any care right now until after the 12 o'clock hour.
It's devastated. You know, it's like, what's going on? I mean, as a single parent without any alternative and going to work, what are you going to do?
Stella Candros today decided she's going to take her children out of Chicago public schools and enroll them in a private Christian school instead.
The Chicago Children's Museum is offering free admission to all CPS students this week. The museum says it hopes the limited time offer is going to help parents who are looking for safe educational environments for their kids during this strike. Adults who attend with children, though, still do have to pay admission there. And for a list of resources for parents and kids during the strike, go to abc7chicago.com and click on strike coverage. And you can stay up for the minute on all the developments by getting free text alerts from abc7chicago.com. You can also receive alerts on the ABC7 Chicago iPad and iPhone app. We'll also have the latest updates on social media. Our Facebook page, ABC7 Chicago. Our Twitter handle is at ABC7 Chicago.
There is a lot at stake here in this strike for Chicago Mayor Rahm Emanuel. He's been the target of attacks from the teachers union long before this strike began.
ABC7 investigative reporter Chuck Gaddy joining us with more on that in tonight's intelligence report. Chuck.
Kathy, Ellen, there may be 21,000 teachers on strike, 400,000 students, and almost 3 million Chicagoans following all of this, but there are two faces of the strike. Mayor Rahm Emanuel and Teachers Union President Karen Lewis. Their face-off has involved issues beyond the contract and far different than the last strike 25 years ago. Tonight there are new venues for the gloves to come off.
I'm not looking for another. I got enough challenges. I wasn't looking for a challenge.
He says this strike isn't about him, but as thousands of teachers march through the loop, their union has a different idea, calling it a historic clash with Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Chicago Teachers Union officials haven't uttered the word payback, but it has been 1 year since CTU President Karen Lewis said Emanuel exploded at her during a meeting invoking the F word. The union is taking direct aim tonight at Emanuel. In this tweet posted just before strikers hit the streets this morning, social media users were directed to a video of Rahm Emanuel working with the Tea Party to bust Chicago Teachers Union.
Karen Lewis, the head of the Chicago Teachers Union, who's a diehard militant, was focused on maintaining her sense of her members' right to strike. But our next proposal, our next best, which was a very high threshold for strikes, for whatever reason, tactical miscalculation on her part, was palatable. Rahm pushed it.
It is a scathing 25-minute video posted on the Teachers Union YouTube channel, heavily edited, but seems to be aimed at embarrassing Mayor Rahm Emanuel for what the union believes are his union-busting politics.
We've done our homework. We knew that the highest threshold of any bargaining unit that had voted one way or the other on a collective bargaining agreement on a contract vote was 48.3%. The threshold that we were arguing for was 3/4. So in effect, they wouldn't have the ability to strike.
In a statement tonight, a spokesman for Mayor Emanuel says the mayor is working tirelessly to ensure President Obama's re-election, and to insinuate that he is working with the Tea Party is a joke. That video was originally released by the Teachers Union during the summer, now making a comeback. It features a Tea Party blogger boasting how he worked with Mayor Emanuel against the unions in Chicago. The video is called AstroTurf Billionaires versus the Chicago Teachers Union. AstroTurf, the opposite, I guess you would say, of grassroots.
Chuck, thank you.
All right, Jeff.
Dozens of kids recovering tonight after a frightening school bus accident in LaSalle County.
Also had dramatic video from a police